Consider this picture of Christian Thanos as your little waiting screen. You're welcome. It took me this long to fucking realize that, oh wait a minute, I could just click deafen. So that way everyone could talk amongst themselves, and we can wait a few minutes before starting. Silly me. It took me this long to find this archive of the Quickie. So here we are. And here we go. Ooh, this is jammy. These are some jammy jams. I figured it's spooky month, may as well play some copyright-free spooky music while we wait. Dread it! Run from it! Destiny arrives all the same, and now it is here. Or should I say, I am. Oh, we have a viewer now. Hello. Alright, and we're about to transition. Just giving the folks the signal. Bam! Bam! Hello? Can you guys hear me? Say something.
Yes. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Thanks, Bird Asterisk and Red Pro. Yep, here we are.
Yay!
We got a crew this time. And
There's always-
actual one other than just me. You know, because
My
I'm
dude,
just
I always
here
have
all
mo-
the fucking time.
I always have more than one person on here.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
not
true.
all the streams, but still. And I got some nice music in the background. Everyone got to... The whole one person got to stare at Christian Thanos while all the way during that little 2-minute grace period. So you guys got the link? I can send it here.
I'll get it. Got it.
I'm thinking we read the pages on Bob and Barb. What do you guys think?
Wow.
Or at least one of them.
I got Bob.
I love
I'll go with Bob.
I love democracy.
I love democracy.
I'm checking to make sure there's nothing SFW on this page before I show it.
I'm scanning it right now.
Same, bruh. I got you.
I don't want to show any kind of nudity or anything, because I don't want to get shit canned.
Nope, there's no nudity.
No parts.
Good, alright. Then I can show the page.
Yeah!
Fuck, these people have to see this shit now. I am so sorry.
And here we are. Here's the page.
Yeah!
I am so sorry, people.
What are you apologizing for, buddy?
They have to suffer along with us in reading this shit.
Yep. Yep.
Alright, let's talk about a racist old man.
That is my link. This article contains links which have been cut down by the internet lumberjack, or which have otherwise crashed into slumber due to stress. Please help the wiki by replacing or restoring these links. It was an interesting life I had. Bob, at peace.
I had more freedom than when he was alive.
Chris, reflecting on his life prior to his father's death. I don't believe he ever...
I don't believe he ever missed to see any of her past boyfriends, ex-husbands, hadn't really reached her G-spot, really, with their dicks.
Chris, honoring
Chris,
Bob's memory.
Honoring Bob's memory by claiming that he was better at fucking the man's wife than he ever was.
Also, there are fucking ads on this thing, because it's an archive, so just ignore it.
Ignore the fucking... Ignore the ads
my
of hot single nymphs in your area.
It'd be funny if that actually was the ad that I was showing. Well, my desk is covering it anyway.
God.
Yeah, my desk is covering it on the studio, so it's okay. No one can see it.
The Lok'tar.
Thank God. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it'd be funny if that actually was.
God.
Who wants to get started?
I'll start.
Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. September 4th, 1927 to 6th of September 2011. Damn.
What was the father of Christian Weston Chandler, Carol Chandler, and David Allen Chandler, godfather of Cole Smithy, and husband of Barbara Weston Chandler. Bob became a firm favorite with trolls due to Chris's
Antipathy, I think.
Yes, towards him, and for his infamous cameo in when he was walking in on Chris masturbating.
Masturbating. I'll always love that.
Mass debating.
His nickname, the internet lumberjack, came from this incident when he promised to cut the internet down.
I'm cutting it down. I'm cutting it down.
Oh my. Despite being estranged from his other children and despised by his stepson for abusive behavior, Bob was widely viewed as the better parent than his wife Barbara, by a long shot, by historians, and as far as Chris' own testimony can be trusted, he treated Chris better than any of his previous children. Bob had serious difficulties working with Chris's
tisms. Did your mic cut off, Chief?
Chief?
Yeah, I think the mic cut
Snake?
off. I'll give them a moment.
Snake?
Snake! I'm devouring some food while doing this.
Right in. Right in. Right in.
I'll read this next part while Sabrina figures out her magic shoes. Or Soul Tail in this case.
Get your life together! Not really, no rush. Be as thorough as you need to be so this problem doesn't actually ever happen again. But please hurry!
Bob had serious difficulties working with Chris's autism, the tisms. A disorder that he and his wife did not fully understand, but nonetheless, he had high hopes for his child in spite of the difficulties that he faced. Bob hoped to instill Chris with a variety of interests that reflected his own varied tastes, and he created the Dreaming Studio in their backyard in the hopes that they'd create things there, though sadly, nothing of note was created there. Fuck, man, when that whole part was mentioned, along with the letter to Chris on Gino's documentary, like, that shit hit me in the feels. Like, it really did. Like, it really hit me in the feels. For Mr. C and Little C, E's Dreaming Studio, where dreams do come true. It hits me in the feels, man. Sounds like a fucking
Disney quote.
It hits me in the feels, man. Makes me think of the good times with my dad.
I get the feelings, but I don't have those. My grandpa and I just, because he was the closest thing I had today, because things he happened, not talking about it.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, I just like that particular thing
It
kind
was
of reminds
the
me of.
garage, and we just called it the garage.
I can see like what, like why Bob did this, because like he wanted to be better, even though he still wasn't a good parent.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but like, no offense to Bob, but like, it's Chris.
But yeah,
It's
Dreaming
not
Studio,
all just bad parenting. This is just several bad things rolled together.
That's Sabrina kind of disconnected. They'll probably be back. Oh well.
Yeah, I heard.
Go ahead and read this next part here. You have the link, right? See why I'm highlighting? Oh, Serena's back.
Sorry, I got kicked out.
The ghost of Bob must have cut down your internet.
Yeah, but the main point is, Bob was kind of like my dad when he was alive.
Well, we're not gonna talk too much about personal stuff today. Hope that's fine.
Fair enough.
But I do get what you're talking about.
So anyway,
We're on this bit now.
Yeah.
And Crazy Redhead's gonna go ahead and read it.
Because of this.
Where?
Because of this.
Okay. Sorry, I was like, where are we? You follow along with the words, but like you just lose it sometimes. Because of this, Bob's popularity stems from being somewhat fucking dyslexia.
I shouldn't trust you to read shit.
You should never. I have really fucking bad dyslexia, but I can still read decent enough. You just have tism fits, and that makes everybody awe at me because it's adorable.
And I'm glad to help you with anything you might misread. Everyone does that.
Somewhat
Anyways, continue.
concerned with Chris's foolish behavior and the fact that he occasionally tried to encourage a modicum of responsibility in Chris's sorry life. Fuck. Bringing up the fact that he deserved 29 years to raise. Devoted 29 years to raising his son. Of course, Chris was almost entirely unaffected by Bob's efforts to better him, but unlike Barb, he at least made the fucking effort.
Agreed.
That being said, he also encouraged Chris to not seek employment in favor of getting welfare, even though Chris could still hold a part-time job and receive those benefits. So he's not entirely blameless for the sorry state that his son is in today either. Holy shit, is that fucking dark, kinda.
Yeah, I didn't know that Bob actively encouraged him to not get a job. I thought that was all Chris.
Nope.
You'd think a
Not to
hardworking man
mention
like
that-
him would encourage him to get a job. Because Bob worked his ass off.
Not to mention,
Yeah.
yeah, he made shit.
And he collected those
The
stamps
stamps.
for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, but let's continue. Not to mention that many of Chris's more back social perceptions that
Perspectives. You're
he
close.
had in the classic era stem from his influence.
Yeah, Bob may or may not have been the reason that Chris was a racist and anti-Semitic.
The clan.
Okay.
I'm gonna read this next part.
Got it.
Bob was always eager to chat, and indeed, much of the known info about Bob's life comes from conversations he had with trolls. Seems that Chris's passion for honest content did not fall too far from that tree. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Mostly. Although Bob at least had a filter that his son would lack. Yeah, that's true.
It's-
At least Bob wouldn't give away
Uh-huh.
all his fetishes and shit.
Uh-huh.
Whether in person or over the phone, Bob appeared to relish the opportunity to speak with just about anyone. And it is pretty cool that these trolls genuinely wanted to get to know Bob. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Like, if I had the opportunity, if he was alive, I would have definitely tried to interview him.
yeah, especially now because what would have happened.
Yep. On the 6th of September 2011, Bob died of complications from heart failure at Martha Jefferson Hospital ICU, surrounded by his family, his pastor, and hospital staff. He was survived by his wife and son, who now had to become the man of the house, occasionally raked in some income through commission work. Though he would never look for a serious career, Chris would initially come to terms with his father's death in a conventional, healthy way, but would eventually turn to a coping mechanism where he genuinely believed that his father was alive in another dimension as a Sonichu called Robert Chu.
Oh.
Like, you should have
hopefully.
stuck with coping the normal way. What the fuck? I remember, like, hearing some shit about how he told this girl that her father was alive in Quickville or some shit. I'm like, dude, that's just disrespecting the dead. Like, if someone told me any kind of shit like that, I would punch them in the goddamn face. Because that is disrespecting the dead right there. I want to believe that the dead are in a better place, but not when people try to claim that they're in some made-up world that existing in a terrible comic.
It's quite pathetic.
It's fucked up, man.
Years later, in 2021, Chris would repeatedly cuckold his own father by having dubiously consensual sex with his wife in an incest-based affair, with Chris bragging that he could get Barb off better than Mr. C ever could. Who needs that Barb pussy? OMG! Me!
Oh, God.
Yeah. When I try to do the Barb impression, I always have her sounding like a corpse. Following this incident, both were separated from the house they maintained, with Chris jailed, Barb temporarily hospitalized, and the dreaming studio left abandoned.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, that dream studio became just a storage for Barb's constant hoarding.
You want to start with reading the biography, or do you want to skip to something in particularly?
Now, I want to make this as authentic as possible. I'm gonna read the biography. Or do you want to do it, Sabrina? Hey, Bird Asterisk, you there?
Bird! Bird!
Bird is the word.
Bad is the word. There's a bad. Bad is a bad. Bad is a bad.
Biography.
He was originally born in Fort Worth.
I'm guessing you were reading the beginning, but it cut you off.
Yeah, it did. Damn.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Start over. Biography.
Bob was born on Fort Worth, Texas, a fellow Texan, and raised in Alabama.
Quagga? Can anyone tell me how to pronounce this? Anyone from this area?
Yeah.
Anyone from this area in Alabama? How do you pronounce that? Tell us.
Yes.
Anyway.
He was the only child of Robert Franklin Chandler Sr. born in 1906. No one knows his true date. And he passed away on December 27th, 1977. Oh,
Damn.
an Alabamian insurance agent and Gene Holloman, 1906 to May 10th of 1945, a Texan housewife. God bless Texas. Amen. Bob has 8 younger half-siblings on his father's side. He also mentioned having a cousin and several Cherokee relatives in Oklahoma. However, a distant relative disputed his Cherokee heritage, and his son's DNA test results in 2018 belied any American Indian descent. It is common for white Southerners to make dubious claims to Cherokee ancestry for a variety of historical reasons.
I actually do plan on getting a DNA test sometime in the future. Because I know where the hell I came from. It's always cool to see.
Well, I know I'm part.
And then you realize that you have like 25% some Afro-American.
Yeah.
Country.
Is that something you relate to?
Nah.
I'm part a Hungarian gypsy.
Huh. Ooh. I was just comparing it to what a joke me and my buddy from high school used to say because he was half white.
Oh. Not gonna go there.
Anyway.
Bob has said that he was interested in the world, quote unquote, around him since he was 10 and began collecting foreign stamps as a child in the 1930s. His first stamp of Michael I of Romania. He also developed an interest in foreign music, eventually collecting some 15,000 to 20,000 LPs from various genres and cultures. About 100 or so survived the 2014 house fire.
God damn, only 100 out of 20,000.
Yeah,
Jeez.
those vinyls are not easy to keep a hold of, especially during a fire.
I know. That must melt easy.
Exactly.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, vinyl is not cheap.
Anyway, you're almost done.
Bob joined the Boy Scouts, becoming an Eagle Scout and a Scout Master. According to Triss, Bob lost his virginity at the age of 27, which would have been 1954 or 55. Wow. Yeah. Just wow.
Service and Education. A 1942 yearbook from Sacagaquaga High School with a Bobby Chandler. Damn it, Bob!
Damn it, Bubba.
In the freshman class and
right.
in the freshman class and Glee Club, suggesting that he graduated from this school in spring of 1945 before matriculating at Auburn University as an aeronautical engineering major at autumn. Bob apparently had knowledge that the Army desired, was conscripted as a special draftee in 1946, and placed in the Signal Corps. Pardon me.
Your excuse.
There, he learned how to install valve systems, switchboards, and telephones. After basic training and signal school, Bob was sent to Korea for a year to install infrastructure with the American occupation force, serving until 1948. He was entitled to the World War II Victory Medal. His service number was 4410786. Figuring he'd get swallowed up at a big college, Bob
Pika once is asking in the chat, saying room for one more.
oh yeah, let me get him in here.
Pika, bitch.
Let me get him in here.
Okay.
Bitch
Sorry
still.
for interrupting.
No, it's okay. You're not the bitch I'm calling a bitch. I'm calling Pika a bitch, you bitch.
You called.
Welcome, Pika.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yo.
You teased me.
Which chair do you want, Pika? Make it quick.
Any chair. Any
Look
chair is good.
next to me.
I'll
Anyway.
switch back your
I'll be a big
robot
bitch.
avatar later. For now, I'll use the Saiyan avatar that you got. Hey, the jacket matches the chair. Nice.
I've become a monkey.
Yeah, me.
Sweet.
I'll do the green chair. Why not?
Looks good. Looks good.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, don't you always have the Krabby Patty in front of you? Nice.
Yeah.
He's always having a nice Krabby Patty.
We'll get her.
Anyway, I'm gonna continue reading this bit about service and education.
Figuring.
Figuring he'd get swallowed up at a big college, Bob picked a small college, Jacksonville State Teachers College, after leaving the military. He studied pre-engineering and joined the band there for 2 years before returning to Auburn University, where he studied electrical engineering and graduated in 1952. As an engineer, he never learned to spell L properly. While he was at Auburn, he was a member of Phi Mu Alpha, a social frat dedicated to men who are interested in music. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Bob served in Korea, and thankfully for Chris, who believes that he was a sperm carried in one of his father's testicles during that time, he left before the Korean War broke out.
Yeah, that is kind of sad because after World War II, North and South did not exactly get along. Thus
I
the
mean,
conflict.
yeah.
I have Pika,
I
do you have
mean,
the
yeah.
link?
They still don't get along.
Yeah, I'm on the page right now. Don't worry.
Look at who's in charge. It's a dead guy.
Fair enough.
Article on Bob's 25th anniversary at General Electric. Q.
Wow.
Hey, go ahead and read career, Pika.
Yes.
Alright. Bob worked for Western Electric as an engineer for 40 years. There, he designed a variety of electrical subsystems. During the 1950s, he lived in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where he was then offered a job by General Electric in Utica. Utica? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Utica.
Yeah, I think that's how it.
Yeah, in Utica, New York. Since New York is too cold and Yankee for Bob, he left there for 3 years. Transferred to Roanoke, in Southwest Virginia, where he discovered his love for mountains. In 1975, he moved to Richmond, where he worked until 1980, where he was transferred to Charlottesville. He worked with both Goodrich and Goodyear. With General Electric, Bob was responsible for at least 7 patents, Barbara claimed in an email to Miyamoto that without Bob's influence in the computer world, the NES might not have arrived so soon. Ignoring the fact that the NES was designed and released in Japan in 1983 without influence from American electronics.
Bob Chandler is one of the most creative engineers in the organization.
The general manager at GE.
Examples of Bob's accomplishment included an automated steel mill for rolling steel for cars, a paper mill for the production of Kleenex, warehousing, railroads, and tanker ships. He designed scooters, die casting machines for producing plastic products, and a vehicle logging system. Both Chris and Barbara have bragged that Bob designed controls that were used in plastic water container molding machines.
Ah,
I'm not gonna lie, that's actually
Kinda crazy
pretty impressive. That is pretty goddamn
Chris came
impressive.
from
Not
this
gonna-
motherfucker.
yeah.
How?
That motherfucker came from
How?
this actual, very accomplished man.
Like, you'd think Chris would have inherited some of that intelligence. Because Bob is clearly quite intelligent if he
But
knows
it
how to
looks
do
like
this shit.
Barb is a quadruple, triple, triple negative to charisma and everything, apparently.
Yeah.
That's sad, really.
Bob retired in 1987, him at the age of 59 to 60. His relatively early retirement may have been provoked by health problems, as he writes in his December 1987 letter to Chris that, "I know that I, at best, haven't much time left to share myself with you."
That sounded so wrong. I'm sorry, but it
Uh,
does. Share myself with you. Maybe I'm just dirty-minded.
You are.
He means like, I'm not long for this world. I can't like spend as much time with you as I want to.
I know what he actually meant. I'm just saying I'm dirty-minded for thinking about that.
Same here.
I mean, considering what Chris did to wind himself in the slammer, you're not too far off.
And Chris thinks of himself as bisexual, so...
Let's be real. He
Anyways.
fucked not just the mother, but the father, his Aunt Karina, and his wee doggy too!
Why?
That's my
Not
headcanon.
just the men, but the women.
Fuck his own father.
But the
and the
women and the
children.
children too.
Anyways,
Moving on.
Bob himself was proud for his natural inclination for logic. Although he was inundated by all his designs, and whether he did well for the world. Would plastic water bottles lead to mankind's salvation or utter destruction? Only time would tell. Damn, that's actually kind of raw.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of both, depending on how many people will actually give a shit.
Please.
Shit's deep, though, man.
Oh man, that's deep.
World consciousness.
That's
Wow.
deep. Like Chris and his mom. Too far.
Shut up!
God have mercy on your soul. That one, brother.
Oh,
Alright, world consciousness.
great minds think alike.
Let me read this. I have been very interested in the world since I was 10 years old, and that was 70 years ago, and I'm very fond of, and I really, truly believe in the United Nations. But you won't find anybody else in my countryside or around here, I think, that does. But anyway, I'm very world conscious. Bob.
You want me to keep reading? Because
Yeah.
I'm down for it. Alright. Bob referred to himself as a Republican, and he did not vote for Barack Obama in the 2008 presidential election. That said, he had misgivings about Bob McDonnell, the Republican candidate in the 2009 gubernatorial
Oh yeah, I forgot to read this here.
election.
I forgot to read this here. Bob Chandler learning how to cut that internet down.
Cut it down.
Anyway,
Turn
let's
it down.
continue.
Anyways. Let's see, where was I? Yes. Yes, the gubernatorial election and the ultimate winner of the election, possibly because of McDonald's support for very strict anti-abortion laws. Topical. Which made
Yeah.
no exceptions. Cases of rape.
That's a hot take.
We're not gonna talk about
No,
politics
it's-
here.
Moving
Yeah,
on.
no,
Let's
let's
move
move on.
along.
Which made no exceptions for her. Red, shut up. Anyways,
Bob and
companies
Chris.
with McDonald's, which made no exceptions for cases of rape or incest. Oh,
Ooh.
that didn't
Mar-
age. That did not age well.
Aged like fine milk.
Ugh.
Aged like soy milk.
Ick.
Oh,
Barbuzzy. Delicious.
shut up, please. Anyways, Bob and Chris considered writing against Snoopy from Peanuts as a protest vote.
What the fuck?
Hey, you can't do anything else but
Oh my god.
make your point clear.
Yeah.
Snoopy is the hero we all need, but anyway.
I'll carry on from Pika.
Yeah.
And eventually damaging moment on February 18th of 2009. Bob doubted. Okay, thank you. Doubted the existence of Moldavia, Julie's country of origin.
July!
However, he can't continue talking on the grounds of that his grasp of post-Soviet geography was shaky, and he apparently convinced himself that Moldavia was the same place as the real country of Moldavia, a former Soviet republic located near the Black Sea. However, he rather damningly failed to question why Julie spoke perfect English with an American accent. Besides Korea, Bob also visited Australia and England at some point of his life. So
Did he
basically-
encounter the kangaroos?
and British sheep?
British? You got a license for breathing? What, you got a license for reading the quickie? Actually, I have my
Let me
license
stab it.
right. I have my license right here.
I got my stabbing license right here, officer.
Oh, license is a license. Sorry, might can't interfere. Bloody hell. Bit sad, isn't it?
Bit sad, innit?
Relationships. Previous family.
Hang
Hang on. I'm gonna try to read this part in the Dylan voice. Hey guys, previous family. Bob was previously married.
Previous family here.
Bob was previously married to a woman named Patricia Harley on the 25th of September 1956. Hey guys, they had 2 children, David Allen Chandler, born 1962, and Carol Suzanne Chandler, born 1969. Funny number.
Ah, nice.
Bob? Okay, I'll stop doing that. If I do that for the whole thing, it's gonna get annoying.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like when I read part of Elliot Rogers' manifesto in the Dylan voice. Yes, I actually did that.
Oh my god.
Bob and
Oh, Dad.
Patricia separated on
Yes.
Bob and Patricia separated on June 28th, 1976, before divorcing on January 28th, 1980. Bob's relationships with David and Carol were strained in his later years. Chris did not know he had a niece via David named Savannah until she was 8 years old, and Bob's relationship with Carol was even more strained. According to Chris, Bob was always concerned about Carol. None of the Chandlers knew what was going on with her, and last they heard she was working for the federal government, implying that she did not show up to her father's funeral. David, on the other hand, did attend his father's funeral.
I can't say I don't blame her.
Yeah, he was a shitty parent to those kids. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Barbara, aka Snorlax. Bob and Snorlax met in 1979 at Maddie's Pub in Richmond. Probably Matt's British pub in Shako Slip, where Bob was a sing-along leader in the late 1970s. Barbara was there with a friend, and Bob was singing. According to Chris, Bob claims that Barbara did the pursuing. She chased them down the hallway. Bob, however, disputes this. This is probably why Chris figured that he could get away with being passive in terms of courtship. In contrast, Cole's friend, Chuck McGugan?
Yeah, McGugan.
McGigan, maybe?
Whatever.
Giggity.
Giggity.
Who worked at the pub as
Alright.
who worked at the pub as a bartender, has a vivid memory of them acting out as a couple of drunken losers. They got married in 1980, only months after Bob and Patricia had divorced. According to Chris, Barbara did not have sex with Bob for at least 2 decades before his passing. They have been sleeping in separate rooms in the years leading up to his death.
I can't say I don't blame her.
They're pretty old at that point, anyway.
So they have very limited sex drive.
Cole, are you really gonna fuck that corpse? Well,
Ew.
apparently Chris could.
Yeah, but Chris is retarded. Bob
Yes.
was actually smart.
Yeah.
Cole. Bob married Barbara when her son Cole was 17, around the time Cole left to lead his own life. Cole feels that Bob's barrenness worked to separate his relationship with his mother. Cole said he would celebrate when that fuck Bob finally drops, but it is unknown if he did so. Cole said that he and Bob shared a mutual hatred, though there isn't any proof that Bob hated Cole. In the least, it is certain that Bob knew Cole didn't like him. Chris, see also Bob's letter to Chris. Get away from the internet! I'm cutting it down right now! Bob Chandler, Internet Lumberjack. Dreaming Studio of Mr. C and Little C, where dreams do come true. Again, when I was watching the documentary from Geno Samuel and that part came up, I fucking teared up, man. That shit hit me in the feels.
Oh, you big baby, kiss on your boo boo. Shut the fuck up.
You have to admit, like, shit like that can hit you in the feels, because, like, in concept, that would have been a
It
great
can,
thing for
but, like,
Chris.
Yeah, it's
It
the same-
would if Chris ever did a fucking thing. See, I have no sympathy or love lost for either of them because they're both terrible people.
That's a good point.
Hey, it still hit me in the feels, though.
Anyway, I'll go from there. Just give me a second.
I'm cutting it down.
When Chris was a boy, Bob encouraged him to learn more about the world and tried sharing his interests and hobbies, including engineering, geography, and step collecting. When Chris was 7, Bob converted a shed in the backyard of 14 Branchen Court to a workshop where he and Chris could build things together, dubbing it the Dream Studio. Chris could not recall what they had built together when asked about it in years following Bob's death. He and Barb had been using the space to hoard storage.
Told you guys.
You called it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Bob wished that Chris was more interested in the world. He tried to teach Chris about foreign geography such as Europe and Australia, though he thought correctly that Chris doesn't understand countries and continents beyond what he's seen on television. Sad part is, it's true,
Yep.
and only can associate with places he's physically been in Virginia.
Virginia is for virgins!
Oh, Christ. Bob enjoyed collecting stamps growing up in the 1930s, and he continued to do so for several decades, with a focus on the United Nations and foreign countries, building a collection of stamps which filled 6 boxes, which a stamp book like that was about 60 to 80 pages, front and back, filled with stamps, which is roughly about 10 a row. So about between 3,000 and 4,000 stamps total. Give or
Jesus.
take. He taught Chris about his hobby, buying him a beginner stamp album in 1992. Chris seemed to enjoy the hobby as well, since he had many pages of stamps filled in written letters to Chris, written when Chris was a few years old. Bob gave Chris permission to pass along his various collections on to others after inheriting them. In 2017, Chris began selling pieces of the inherited stamp collection. He had priced Bob's pieces at decent prices, generally for $5 per set, though he tried to sell his own personal stamp album for $1,000.
Someone
But
bought that shit, didn't they?
Well, some of those stamps are extremely rare, so it depends on the condition of the stamp and how much is it, how many of the stamps are in the world in total. So
It's like how people would pay extremely stupid amounts of money for a original Charizard.
That's
exactly.
fair. Anyway, we're almost done with this part.
Bob's racist joke that Barack Obama would paint the White House black. Oh, God Christ. Would, as soon as he became president, influenced Chris to draw it in Sonic Shoe number 8.
Oh yeah, he did that, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris's phobia of penises was apparently sparked from barging into his parents' room, where Bob had a habit of sleeping butt naked nude from the waist down. Oh, trauma.
Yeah, he saw those old wrinkly twig and berries.
To be fair, I've seen it my fair share, so I'm not gonna be complaining. I swear to God.
Still, like, you don't want to see that. That's one of those things you just get scarred for life seeing. I would.
I had to deal with it with my dad when he was trying to take his shower.
And I walked in on shower time.
Yes.
Nasty. But anyway.
Chris has often complained about stressful confrontations with his father. Well, my father, it was a major stressor against me. Starts arguments, annoys me. Rarely washes his hands after restroom breaks. Lord knows how I tried to encourage him to wash numerous times and rarely succeeded.
Chris, IRC, December 31st, 2008. I highly doubt that Chris washes his hands either.
So, the pot calling the kettle black?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I highly doubt that Chris is the kind of guy to talk about hygiene. You never seen that shower?
Yeah.
moldy and shit.
Mold and shit.
Then Lars just pops up. Bolts?
Anyway,
Hey, after this last sentence where it ends with, "For he does not want to hear," I'm gonna read this next part.
got it. However, the many instances of Bob communicating with trolls show that he was a generally pleasant and amicable, not at all inclined to start arguments, as Chris asserts. As seen during the lead up to the fateful encounter between Emily, Chris, and the man in the pickle suit, Bob seemed to not be more than happy to discuss stories with people, even those who he hadn't seen or heard that much of. Robert Simmons V, who Bob met Bob during his visit to Chris's church, conversed with him extensively, later saying that he was a really pleasant guy. The antagonism to which Chris refers is likelier to be Bob attempting to constructively criticize Chris in order to better him, as Chris deeply resents being told what he does not want to hear. Based.
A drawing of Bob by Chris, released in November 2015. He just needs the axe so he can cut down the internet.
And more into being the present.
I cut it down!
Old and shit.
That goddamn thing
He's
up.
old and shit.
Bob and the younger Christian. Note Chris's family bonding shirt. It's a Simpson
Aw.
shirt.
I think that's kind of cute.
Anyway. Oh, you know what kind of family bonding he'd be doing later? An example of
Anyway.
that criticism was Bob telling Chris that, since Bob had looked after Chris for 29 years despite his childish and outrageous behavior, Chris should show more gratitude towards him. Chris was completely dismissive, figuring that his father was obligated to take care of him, and seeing no reason he should demonstrate any foreign concepts like love, support, gratitude, and willingness to help. Reinforcing Bob's point, Chris would still run for his father's aid, and he felt threatened, as in the later parts of the Casey and Liquid call. Despite Bob's occasional frustration over Chris's actions, he seemed to have bought into the theory that Chris is tormented by a complex network of enemies spanning the entire world, due to the success that he has earned from his own Sideshow franchise. In the Matthew Noble call, it appears that Bob seemed to be the origin of Chris's tendency to bring up unrelated mishaps and debacles to make current incidents and sources of stress seem petty in comparison. Once during a phone call with trolls, Bob stated that Chris had accomplished significant goals in his adult life. However, it is unknown if Bob actually believes that, not to mention what accomplishments he was referring to. Or it was just something he was saying because he didn't want to admit to complete strangers that his son was a total failure in life and a leech on society.
And
Yeah, what if he was referring to Liquid?
actually, if you think about it, it's the sense of the father is placed upon the shoulders of the child, and ironically, that's kind of sin that he felt carried on his shoulders is now passed on to Chris, and that went completely AWOL. AWOL.
Went completely A-log.
Girl. Anyway,
Yep.
he seemed to never get past the notion that Chris could and had achieved things, given that he continued to have to nursemaid Chris well into his son's late 20s. You mean in Ian Brandon Anderson into his late 20s.
Huh.
And Brandon Anderson! Anyway, sorry. In the later parts of 2009 and throughout 2010, as chronicled in Chris's emails with Vivian G and Jackie, Bob had been forced to take an increasingly active role in controlling Chris's spending and debt. Paying off Chris's credit cards with his own money in an attempt to prevent interest charges from spiraling even further out of control. By the fall of 2010, he was monitoring Chris's bank accounts on a daily basis and keeping him on a strict allowance. Upon finding out about Chris's escapades in early 2011, Bob's reaction was to question Chris's sexuality, at one point even calling him a fag. Hello, base department?
Yeah.
It's about you. Hang on.
Hello, base department? I'd like to file a claim.
Oh, it's department.
I'd like to file a claim.
What for, sir?
This man, this lumberjack, called his own son a faggot.
You.
Oh dear.
You sound like a real shot.
Okay, back to it.
Yeah.
Chris had said specifically that he doesn't have to love his father, but has to respect him. Confidential details collected after Bob's death, however, suggest Chris was more emotionally attached than he let on, providing rare and precious evidence that Chris doesn't take the presence of others for granted. Well, some of the time.
I mean, when it's important to him.
Yeah.
Yep, when they're able to give him money. Otherwise, you may as well not exist.
Exactly.
He also got genuinely emotional while reading a letter his father had left for him on camera, again indicating how much he misses his father. In December of 2012, Chris uploaded the soundtrack from the 1990 WTJU Jazz Marathon, in which Bob was a performer and a host. It was notable as one of the few moments where Chris publicly honored his father's memory since the latter's passing in September of 2011. Rest in peace, Internet Lumberjack.
Yes. Rip.
Bob lives on. Bob lives on his son's memory. Chris noted the occasion of his father's passing by attaching angel wings to the Lego minifigure representing him, and displaying 2 photos of him in front of his TV. He often visits Bob in his dreams. Due to the influence of the Idea Guys, Chris expressed beliefs that Bob is half Sonichu and is apparently still alive in the Quickville dimension. These beliefs began around December 2017 and continued even after the Idea Guys had been removed from power, as shown by the below quote from 2018's Father's Day. Hashtag Happy Father's Day to each and every father in this world, and in every single other dimension too. My father is alive again. I still love him, even in his checker-patterned glory. That is so cursed.
That is...
So
Lock
cursed.
up, man.
Other relationships. In spite of his redneck background, Bob seems to have gotten along better with foreigners than with his own countrymen. His closest friend in Richmond was Reverend Chen of Korean Canon Presbyterian Church, and he had English friends through his involvement with Matt's British pub. He also had friends in Australia. From his father's second marriage, Bob had a large number of half-brothers and sisters in Salem, North Carolina, but he does not seem to have been very close with them. Bob's stepmother's obituary confirms that 8 of these half-siblings were alive as of 2015. Contrary to popular beliefs, he did not have friends in the KKK. Oh.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
And honestly, I thought he did.
So did I.
Well, thank goodness he's not actually a Klansman, because I really thought he did.
Thank God.
Yeah. Jesus.
Hey,
Damn, this is a pretty long article.
no
Who wants to
kidding,
read this
and
next part?
I'll do it.
Playbill for Mr. C and his musical pushcart.
Wow.
Later life, poor health, and death.
Bob lived on Social Security and his General Electric pension.
Pension.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Shut up, man.
He never really had people to chat with at home. He would ramble to total strangers on the phone if he could, so he sat around listening to music and took care of the garden inside the greenhouse with a 1970s stereo system set up in the greenhouse. He went to swing with the music on his swing there. Bob had two triple bypasses and 4 heart attacks. The two triple bypass operations took place in August 1980. He wore an artificial pacemaker. He apparently had several vivid near-death experiences during Chris's date with Emily. Wait, what? He had near-death experiences?
wow. Wow.
Jesus fuck. Bob tells her that he had died several times, and Chris says that Bob has seen the light but did not actually go to it. In one prank call, Bob revealed that after surgery for cancer, it was discovered that he had a fluid buildup in his leg, which is symptomatic of CFI.
CHF.
CHI.
CHF.
This rapid decline in health worried him. He attributed his long life to the Cherokee. Blah blah blah. Fucking word. In him. His uncle and grandfather all lived past 90. Despite his heart troubles, he continued to eat at Burger King daily. What the fuck, man?
We're out of control. Sheesh.
Oh. on 1 March 10th, Chris tweeted that Bob has been taken to the hospital in the early morning for
Congested.
the heart failure. Chris seemed confident that his father was not in for a long stay, considering Bob's age, lifestyle, and long history of heart disease. Chris did not seem to grasp the seriousness of his heart failure.
I'm surprised
Bob
Chris didn't
had
have
been-
serious heart failure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he still hasn't had anything bad happen to him other than he has a bad dick.
Yeah, seriously, like, you'd think being so fat he'd have a variety of health issues.
Yeah.
Like, his lifestyle would kill most people.
Oh yeah, shit. Bob had been
Or at the very
Only
least put him on a mobility scooter.
keeping the Chandler household from imploding, and as such, trolls and white knights alike wished him the very best. In the month following Bob's hospitalization, Chris was remarkably quiet on the subject of his father. News about his condition was hard to come by, as information only arose when Chris was inclined to comply about it on a
Complain.
strictly confidential heart failure. Complain about it online. Strictly confidential heart failure is not as immediately fatal as its name implies, but Bob's age, prior heart attacks, and lifestyle made this very serious situation. It is kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Uh, my father died of something similar to that. So I know what Chris was going through, but I had a better grasp of it through A&P, so I've had a better advantage over him.
You also aren't a fucking idiot.
Fair enough.
Yeah, being the idiot on the channel's my job.
No, it's not. It's
I'm right here.
It's not fucking talking.
Hey, everyone waits their turns. Everyone gets a call.
Fair enough.
We're all here for a reason.
That's to be dumbasses. Chris's videos over the month of March made no mention of Bob at all. Staying true to his painfully predictable nature, Chris instead lost a girlfriend he never had, made racial slurs and death threats towards a cartoon character, and
Tito.
raised against
Why?
his silence on the subject.
Rates against
of his father was.
abstinence.
Oh boy.
I say that.
Yeah, sorry, just your mic didn't pick that up.
Fuck. Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
All of us have shitty mics.
Yeah, I'm using my phone.
It's built into my headphones.
We're not professionals.
Yeah.
We're just
His silence on the subject, his father was probably because of genuine ignorance of the seriousness of his father's condition.
Pika, read this
post
next
on-
part.
Peter?
Yeah, go ahead and read this next bit here. I'm not letting Red go in all of this alone. His dyslexia really doesn't help. Start with a poster on Quick contacted Chris.
Yeah.
Poster on.
Yeah, you on the page or are you looking at my stream?
I'm on the page. I lost my place. Shit.
uh
Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I know where we are. Here we are. Alright.
We're waiting.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
It's all good, dude.
Just keep scrolling, you'll see it.
Just keep scrolling, just keep scrolling, just keep scrolling.
It's in later life, poor health, and death.
Alright, found it. A poster on the quick board of 4chan contacted Chris via PSN regarding Bob. He posted a screen capture of response saying, "He is doing much better, thank you." Another contacted Chris via email and got a response saying, "Yes, my father is healthy and safe." Clearly, he was neither. But at least this is proof that Bob hadn't joined the whites only section of heaven in New York City yet.
Why is this so accurate?
Oh my god!
I mean, Bob was a man of his
Because
time.
it's accurate to the actual. Because
Wow.
it's just like actual Christianity.
Oh,
Going straight to hell if there is one.
Okay.
if there is a hell below, we all shall go.
I got friends on the other side.
Like, then we get banished to Quickville. That'd be a fate worse
no.
than death.
Yeah.
Quickville is hell.
That's probably somebody's hell.
Anyway, back to the racism and the quickie reading.
In late May, Chris finally made a brief mention in a public video that his father was alive and well. Chris was at least half right. A breakdown of his final month reads as follows. On March 24th, 2011, Bob claimed in a phone call to have cancer of some description. On April 23rd, 2011, in an email to Jackie, Chris had revealed that Bob had received surgery for colon cancer. On July 20th, 2011, it was revealed that Bob knew about Chris's cross-dressing tendencies, and like Bob, vehemently disapproved of them, calling him a fag. On the 29th of August, 2011, Chris, now deeply entrenched in his Tom-girlish ways, mentioned that Bob was an ill and sickly shut-in and was suffering from feet bloatings.
Feet bloatings.
In early September 2011,
Nobody's into that.
Bob was rushed by ambulance to Martha Jackson Hospital with heart failure. It was discovered later that Bob had been put into quarantine when he arrived because his body was covered in bug bites, and he posed a contamination risk. On the 6th of that month, he died at age 84. Out of respect for him and his family, the Quickie was closed. It was for a month.
Oh, for a week, it says.
For a week, shit. Sorry. From September 12th to September 19th. The start date coinciding with the day of Bob's funeral service was hell. Site visitors were directed to a page that simply read, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr., 1927 to 2011.
May he rest in peace. All right.
I'll keep reading.
That great big sawmill in the sky.
Yep.
Only section of heaven. Yeah, read.
That's so fucked up.
It really is.
I legit didn't see that part coming.
Nope.
It is said that Marvin and other trolls, using the Jackie identity as a catfish, intended to contact Chris over the phone shortly after Bob's death for unclear reasons. Chris was noted to be audibly upset as he cried throughout the conversation, while the audio was recorded and archived on what is referred to as the black tape, ironically, by some Christorians. The contents of the call were never released publicly due to Chris's miserable emotional state. The trolls who participated in this call realized after the fact that it was simply too soon to try and reach out to Chris in this fashion, and For a change, opted to respect his privacy for once. The black tape. The
Oh,
black
boy.
tape either exists in the hands of the trolls, those who participated in its creation, or it has been lost to time.
What if someone did find it and put it in the inevitable Christian museum?
Yeah.
Wait. It's a. Wait.
I'm just imagining, like, if the Christian museum happens and someone finds that tape and puts it there.
But
It belongs in a museum.
And that would be discovered by the mysteries of the museum years later.
Ah,
yeah. Anyways,
God.
At the very least, there will be a Lok'tar museum. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. And I'm gonna
At
put my
least to
money in
Chris.
that. Like, I'm gonna put my money into the Lok'tar museum.
why put your money into it? Start it yourself.
Fair enough.
See? Won't, bitch.
It's a good point.
Now-
I could start myself if I knew how.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
But you won't, pussy. Bitch. Bitch mate.
I
Bitch,
literally
son.
don't know how.
Anyways, Bob's death also marked
Learn how.
another
Or you
significant.
bitch mate.
Red, I swear to God, I will strangle you.
Okay.
Fight!
Guys, let's calm
You're next.
down. Calm down.
Remember the first rule, right?
First rule of Fight Club, don't talk about it.
What you're talking about?
You just broke the first rule, dumbass.
Anyway, Pika.
Let's
I think you
continue.
have almost-
You're
Yeah.
almost done.
Yeah. Bob's death also marked another significant change in Chris's life, as the vast majority of the trolls associated with the quote-unquote classic era voluntarily retired from trolling Chris, knowing that he was deeply depressed by his father's demise. Only a few of these trolls still remain active as observers on the Kiwi farms. Or, at least they did. God damn it, Keffels.
Yep.
Kiwi Farms is kind of like on and off at the moment. It's kind of a wait to see if it remains or not.
It's just like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, fuck you, Keffels.
And when and where.
If you're watching
Yeah.
this, Keffels, suck
Yeah,
my
fuck it.
ass. Suck my asshole, Keffels.
And they gotta lay my bones. I'm gonna be the next Filthy Frank. I'm calling it out.
Ahem.
We
Anyways.
miss you,
Oh,
Papa
fuck.
Franco.
Why did you leave me?
And the trolling renaissance wouldn't begin until much later in the decade with the advent of the idea guys. Fuck the idea guys.
Yeah, those
They're not
fuckers-
funny. Like, they were not funny.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Blue Spike's funnier than them.
Yeah.
Cause of death.
Despite the fairly clear-cut nature of the lumberjack's passing,
The lumberjack.
I get it.
Chris has since declared that the trolls were responsible for Bob's death.
Of course he'd say that.
Yep. In an email leaked on March 22nd of 2014, Chris claims that the stress of his trolling led to Bob's heart attack. This keeps in the trend Chris has developed of blaming any and all misfortunes, even those faced by everyone, like burying a family member, on trolls.
And the total stress killed my father prematurely. If not for those trolls, he would still be alive and would have likely lived beyond 2015. Chris.
He would have passed during COVID.
If he somehow lived up to COVID, he would have died shortly after that. He probably wouldn't have followed the rules at all.
Fair enough.
Definitely not.
He would have caught the COVID easily and died.
Yeah. Even for Chris, this is appalling behavior. Using the death of his own father as a vehicle to play victim in an attempt to stave off trolls. While it's not uncommon for those who have lost loved ones to blame their deaths on external causes, however impossible or insane as in this case, Chris's actions are motivated purely out of selfishness and egotism. Business as usual. Years later, in 2017, Chris revised his claim and said that Bob was killed after hospital staff surprised him with a loud noise. He went on to say that he had more freedom than when Bob was alive. I wish I could go back
I
to
wish I
September
could
5th.
go back to September 5th, 2011, and stop the staff from making the loud noise that killed my father with stressful surprise. I had more freedom when he was alive. That sounded more like Liquid, what I just did.
Yeah.
We love you, Liquid. Anyway.
No.
Now
Obituary.
Both Barb and Chris collaborated in writing Bob's obituary, which was published in 2 local papers. Main points of the obituary, apart from the standard birth date, date of death, and next of kin, include text going into unusual detail about what Bob did at GE, the location of the memorial service to follow on a later date at Wesley Memorial United Methodist Church, the church that Bob, Barb, and Chris used to frequent together. This is the same church that Rocky Shoemaker counseled Chris from. A footnote asking readers to not donate flowers, but to donate money to Barbara and Chris. With Chris taking part in writing the obituary, it's amazing that the writing stayed focused on Bob and did not once mention Sonichu or become about Chris, except for the request of money at the end.
Yeah, I am surprised Sonichu wasn't in there. Like, drawn on it or something.
Yeah.
Original text. Robert Franklin Chandler Jr., 84, of Ruckersville, passed away the morning of Tuesday, September 6th, 2011, at Martha Jefferson Hospital ICU, surrounded by family, pastor, and hospital staff. He was born on September 4th, 1927, in Texas, the son of the late Robert Franklin Chandler Sr. And is it Jean or John? Probably Jean.
It's Jean.
And Jean Holloman Chandler. On June 7th, 1980, he married Barbara Ann Weston, who survives, and the couple gave birth to a son, Christian Weston Chandler, who survives. Also surviving is ex-wife Patricia and their shared children. Son, Dr. David Allen Chandler, survives, and daughter, Carol Suzanne Chandler, survives. He graduated from Auburn University with a degree in engineering. He served in the U.S. Army, Seoul, Korea, in the Signal Corps during the Korean War. He worked for General Electric as an engineer with steels, plastics, etc. He also had patents for the controls for plastic molding machines. Without him, we would not have even a simple plastic funnel. I like this picture here. May you
It's
always
so
watch over our sweet autist. Get away from that internet. I'm cutting it down. Anyway, I'm almost done.
Oh no.
Also surviving, our granddaughter Savannah Chandler, the daughter of David Allen Chandler and his wife Kimberly. A funeral service will be held at Monticello Memory Gardens in Charlottesville, Virginia, 10 a.m. Monday, September 12th, 2011. A memorial service to follow on a later date at Wesley Memorial United Methodist Church. Instead of flowers, you may make monetary donations to his widow, Barbara Chandler, and his son, Christian Chandler. Bob's final resting place.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's been almost over an hour and a half.
To be fair, streams like this are typically a bit long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, like... Yeah, we're almost done. So the rest of this is just pictures and other links.
Yep.
Yeah, we're almost done here.
Thank God.
Bob is often seen as a gregarious,
Yes, gregarious.
hard-working man, all things considered, who tried, albeit without success, his best to refine Chris into someone that could at least pass for a responsible adult, giving him mock job interviews and chaperoning him on dates, where he proved, unsurprisingly, more adept at charming the date than Chris. Imagine if
What do you expect? He
imagine
has that raw Chandler sex appeal.
Imagine for a sec, like, if he managed to, to seduce Chris's dates by accident.
Yep.
That would make sense.
Yes. Like, I can see it happening.
Same here.
Like, Pika, you need to make a little comic strip about that. That would be funny.
Oh,
Yes.
what?
Make a comic strip about Bob accidentally seducing one of Chris's dates.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, Christ.
That'll be our non-existent art goal.
Dude. Just thinking about
I've
it,
been
it's
getting paid for this.
wrong.
That'd be funny, though. Gotta admit.
I better be getting paid for this.
Tell you what, I'll give you $5 once I get paid. I get paid on Thursday.
Deal.
How's that sound?
Deal.
Alright, cool. Plus I'm paying Tamashi $20 for another commission anyway, so... I'll be able to get two birds with one stone.
Yep.
On the other hand, we have him to thank for some of his son's more backward worldviews. He managed to alienate his other children enough that his daughter didn't attend his funeral or keep in touch while he was alive. He helped Chris to construct bizarre conspiracy theories to justify trespassing and the like, among other things. He, like Snorlax, enabled Chris's crippling dependence on them, general immaturity and irresponsibility, and his myriad of other flaws. He would bail out his son repeatedly, and never really let Chris experience the consequences of his misinformed life decisions. He never made any serious effort to correct his son's glaring character flaws and shortcomings, even when he caught him masturbating in the kitchen. Why the kitchen?
Ew.
And then he came all over the dinner. He probably did.
You do that in 3 places. Your room, the bathroom, and if you live alone, your living room.
Well, Chris doesn't live alone, so no dice there.
Yep.
Personally, even if I lived alone, I wouldn't take that chance.
Same here.
Especially
Yeah,
if
I
that
know.
living room has big windows.
My friend was, my buddy was the first one to move out from our little high school gang. First, when we moved in, he told me where his place was. first thing I saw when I walked into the door.
Jesus Christ! Could have at least knocked.
I did knock.
And did he say anything like, "Hey, masturbating, give me a moment"?
Nah, he was just like, come in. Like, he was trying to put it away fast.
He shouldn't have said that.
I only could tell because what was on TV.
Well,
Anyway,
moving on.
he also did not make any real attempt to provide for Chris's future beyond ensuring the tugboat. He left all his money to Barbara, who promptly wasted it all on lawyers' fees. A conscientious parent would have anticipated this and put some of the money in a trust for Chris. Ultimately, Bob's legacy is a complicated one. While some like to remember Bob as a kind-hearted man who tried his best to be a good father, others see him as an old, backward-thinking coot. He is partially responsible for the person Chris is today. I think it's both, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very mixed bag with the man overall. Chris's beliefs on Bob's afterlife, Idea Guy influences. Robert Franklin Chandler Jr.'s and Ted Bundy's souls never went to heaven or hell. They both became reborn as their respective solitude forms. Mr. Z and Ted also served to help the nation of Quickville in defense and in intellect. Imagine going to an afterlife and your neighbor is fucking Ted Bundy. Of all people.
He's killing me. I want to die.
Me too. Christ, kill me.
During the Idea Guys saga, Chris's belief in multiple dimensions was exploited and his sense of reality hijacked to make changes to many of Chris's characters, concepts, and perspectives of the real world, with him considering them to be valid. Perhaps one of the more heinous examples of this was the Idea Guy's manipulation of Chris's views on his own father. Views which Chris has yet to abandon, despite the Idea Guys being removed from power by the guard dogs in mid-2018. Ideas involving Bob include, and I quote, Bob's spirit resides in Quickville, Dimension C197, as a half-Sanchu named Robert Chu, styled in his Sanchu form as a beaver with a checkerboard fur, a reference to his troll-given Aaron at lumberjack nickname. Oh, now I notice the beaver features there. I see that now. That's actually kind of clever. That's Bob's Sanchu form, as we saw earlier. And this comic strip where Bob meets Ed Bundy in the hereafter. Jesus Christ. And Robert Chu as a ship fake card. Anyway, Bob met serial killer Ted Bundy while in Quickville and helped defend it alongside Ted.
You do realize that Ted Bundy was not exactly a very well-liked guy when he was caught, right?
This is Chris, so of course he wouldn't know.
Oh, that's a millions of 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's Chris we're talking about. I mean,
Fair enough.
In Quickville, you got a bigger punishment for smoking.
It's like Faithful Now with Jeffrey Dahmer because of that Netflix movie that just dropped. People are
I am not talking about that shit. I hate it. I hate it. I'm not even gonna talk about it. Moving on.
Moving along.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
Calm down. Calm down.
Sorry.
Let's take
I just don't
let's
like
take a
that
moment
shit.
to
Take
breathe.
some deep breaths and not tard rage out.
Take a sip of my drink and I'm okay.
Moving along.
Non-alcoholic.
Alcoholism.
Actually, it's not alcoholic. I don't drink.
Neither do I anymore.
I never bothered with. The only time I tried alcohol was actually very recently. It was my little sister's birthday. She had me take a shot with her. It was saying, the feeling at my throat as I took the drink I didn't like it. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Sake burns too.
Yeah, just that's the taste and that feeling in my throat.
Yeah,
I
so I
didn't
have to have
fucking
it
like
hot.
it. Anyway, post the
Moving
idea,
along.
guys. Chris decided that Robert Chu's fur color was really red with black ears because he found it too time-consuming to draw the checkerboard pattern. Lazy ass. Also, let me just say
Yeah.
this. Keep in mind, in Quickville, you get a bigger punishment for smoking 1 cigarette than you do for rape and murder.
Ugh.
Like, rape and murder, in Chris's mind, a slap on the wrist. Smoking 1 cigarette? 20 years jail time!
Why?
Prison.
Years in a dungeon.
And slight criticism towards Chris, execution. Such as in the chapter where he brutally murders several of his trolls.
Gayness. Execution.
Gayness, an anti-gay vaccine. Forcefully injected into your veins.
Your penis.
Ugh. Probably.
Ugh.
I mean, look at Sancho Anatomy. Anyway. Robert Chu was featured as cards in Chris's homemade ship fic expansion. In one, Chris photoshopped a photo of Barbara so that she is standing beside a drawing of Robert Chu in his Sancho form. The card text reads, "Honey, I'm home." Yeah, this card is very cursed.
Indeed.
I highly doubt that either of these people... I highly doubt that either of Chris's parents were furries, I'm just saying. There are many things, but I don't think furry would be one of them.
Nope. Every once in a while, Mr. C runs back home to offer comfort to Barbara, or Snorlax. Before the dimensional merge completion, she had missed him every day and found the solace and comfort that when he comes by. He continues to carry a torch for her in his heart and his soul, while he helps to protect everyone in Quickville and this old temple of a house.
In appearances in Sancho. Christian, you are not a girl. Go put your pants back on.
I gotta
Bob,
kick my
Sancho
dog out real
12.
quick.
Huh? I didn't hear you, did I?
I gotta take my dog. I gotta take my dog out real quick. He's barking up a storm.
Take your time, man. I'm gonna finish this here. Hope that's okay.
Go ahead.
In Spring Break 2008, a video announcement from Jams to Sonichu mentions that Bob founded Quickville in 1982, presumably after Chris's birth on February 24th, given that Bob named the city after his newborn son. Comic Bob presumably served as mayor before Chris took the office at an unknown date. At other points, Bob was mentioned in Chris's tangents about hating men other than himself and his father. And here's a list of all the mayors. Robert Franklin Chandler, February 1982 to unknown. Christian Weston Chandler, aka Ian Brandon Anderson, unknown to November 2nd, 2007. Allison Amber, November 2nd, 2007 to August 8th, 2008. Christian Weston Chandler, August 8th, 2008 to the 3rd of March, 2009. Billy Mays, the true and honest mayor of Quickville. Yeah, I said it. He is the true mayor. The 3rd of March, 2009 to the 28th of June, 2009. Hi, Billy Mays here. Rest in peace, Billy Mays. You will be
Amen.
missed. Kristen Weston Chandler, June 28th, 2009 to C 2016. Allison Amber, C 2016 to C December 2017. Brendan Fraser, C December 2017 to C 2021. Marilee Walsh, C 2021 and onward. So currently, Marilee Walsh is the mayor. I'd
Yeah,
say this is
but-
for the better.
Brandon Fraser
Sorry
had
about
got,
that.
gained a lot of weight. And welcome back.
I was reading all
Sorry
the
about
mayors
that.
of
He wasn't.
I was reading the consecutive list of the mayors of Quickville and the dates.
Ah.
All of them were Bob, then Chris, then Allison Amber, Miss Allison. She was the best character in the Sideshow animated series. Yeah, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then Chris, then Billy Mays, the truanized mayor of Quickville. Then Chris, then Allison, then Brendan Fraser, and currently Marilee Walsh. Yep, apparently Marilee Walsh is the current mayor. Neat.
Aha.
In
Right,
date,
where are we?
I'm finishing this off. In Date Ed, there are 2 dolls for the class to practice talking to. Girls received Robert dolls, while boys received Barbara dolls. An obvious reference / homage to Bob and Barb. That's pretty weird. This would
Yeah.
age well, if you know what I'm saying. Barb pussy. Delicious. Bob made his first official appearance in Sideshow 11, photoshopped into a family photo alongside Chris, Bob, and various Electric Hedgehog Pokemon. And here's this comic strip from Chris. I feel better wearing skirts. Christian, you are not a
Disturbing.
girl. Go put your pants back on. In memory of Mr. C, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr., September 4th, 1927, September 6th, 2011. Like, died just 2 days after his birthday. Damn.
That's sad.
Well, at least it was after and not
birthday today.
before.
True.
It's his birthday today right now, dude.
Like, I didn't even know when his birthday was. Like, I had forgotten. If only I had known. I would have done a
Today,
video.
dude. It's today,
Yeah,
dude.
It says September 4th, not October 4th.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, it was last month. Had I known, I would have made a video for him on September 4th.
Why
Well-
though?
Because why
Wow.
not?
Yeah, why?
Anyway,
Because that. Dumb.
inside issue number 12,
An
Bob
idea.
appears in a set of pages that combine an autobiographical account of Chris coming out as a tom girl to his parents, and a tribute to his late father. He's depicted as an elderly man, as the page took place in 2010. Due to Chris's Oedipal complex, Barb is depicted as much more youthful. Ugh. He attempts to dissuade Chris from continuing his tom girl lifestyle, although Chris states that Bob later told me he accepts and loves me for who I am, shortly before his passing in 2011. I personally don't believe that for a second.
I called bullshit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
Bullshit on that.
Bob's a man of his time. I don't think he would have accepted it.
Nope.
No, definitely not.
Like,
He just thought this was a phase.
yeah, more times than not, shit like that sticks. Like, stubborn as stone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Chris concludes Bob's appearance in the book with a photo in memoriam of his life, saying that he and Barb continue to miss him every day. Bob pictured at right as Gallop Crush in an MLP-inspired drawing from August 2017. Cursed.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, but the color scheme of the Chris pony just looks terrible. What is that shade of pink?
Ugh.
Yes, the color scheme is the problem. The color scheme, not the whole piece. No, not at all.
Someone needs to do it in something more pleasing to the eyes than this horrible pink.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's a minor complaint, but still. It just
Anyway,
looks, that
moving
that
on.
shade of pink looks really weird with that shade of teal. And I normally like pink and teal together. This is an exception.
Agree.
In August 2017, Chris unveiled a drawing of the Chandler family, depicted as My Little Pony characters. saying that they will make further appearances in Sideshow 12.9. The bona-fide Bob, known as Gallop Crush, appears as Nightstar's father, reaffirming the self-insert nature of Chris's pony sona, and I hate it. And in the idea guys written Sideshow 16, Bob's spirit crosses over into Quickville, where he meets and strikes up a conversation with serial killer Ted Bundy.
Oh no! Honey, that's wrong.
As a toy, Amiibo Bob, which Chris offered for sale on Etsy in November 2015. Oh yes. And promo drawing. Do you think anyone bought that?
Yes, people did buy that, remember?
Yep.
I still hate that people bought any of this stuff from Chris. Audio and video. In every appearance, Bob has proven himself to be better at charming Chris's sweethearts than Chris himself. Not a difficult feat, to be fair. I mean, shit, if he can do it, I can do it. 1990. Bob appeared as the DJ to the WTJU Marathon. February 26th, 1994. Bob appears briefly behind Chris from 26 seconds to 36 seconds in the news report of the Sonic Watch and Win sweepstakes. Didn't one of you mention that you entered that contest and you're now grateful that you didn't win?
Yeah, same here. I tried to enter it, but I couldn't get the what Sonic says and brief description, so I failed to win any contest like that. So
Yeah, be glad you did. Be glad you didn't win. Chances are that this was the trigger.
Yeah.
I wasn't born for
Most
another
likely.
10 years.
So I'm kind of thinking, God.
Yeah.
February 14th, 2009. Bob walks into Chris mass debating. February 18th.
And what we need is to build a wall around Quickville to keep all those dirty, dang dirty trolls out of Quickville.
February 18th,
Believe
2009.
me.
In Blue Spike PSN chat 3.5 and 3.7, Bob rambles to Julie.
Go to sleep.
March 15th, 2009, Bob talked to Robert Simmons V at church while Chris went to shit himself.
Be right
Oh.
back.
Alright, we're almost done anyway. March 2009, Bob chaperoned Chris on his date with Emily. Grown-ass man needing a chaperone.
Totally.
March 27th.
Totally normal.
March 27th, 2009. Bob gets intruded by Chris in the tour of Christian's house, but is not visible. August 27th, 2009. Bob enters Chris's room and scolds him for making the house tour, correctly fearing that someone saw the house as it was. God, pardon me. They would be evicted, uncut version and only. This is a momentous occasion, showing some awareness on the part of the handlers that the filth and squalor they live in is a health hazard. This video subsequently off a wave of emails and calls to the Greene County Health Department, masterminded by trolls who hope to realize Bob's fear of eviction, but the campaign was seemingly unsuccessful, obviously. November 2009. Bob and Snorlax make a brief appearance at the end of the Casey and Liquid call. August 15th, 2010. In his final outing on the damn internet, Bob gets a call from the game place and is informed of Chris's actions earlier in the year. He then goes on a tangent about how Chris has been tormented by everyone ever since he was banned, and then demands Michael Snyder's information. Barbara also is audible at the end of the call. Prank calls. Bob answered several of these. He was usually sincere when talking with prank callers, providing them with true and honest info about himself and Chris, but was occasionally pushed to join them back. On one occasion, telling a particularly obnoxious pair of trolls that he had ties to the KKK. Gallery. Bob's Auburn freshman yearbook photo, taken for the 1946 yearbook. Bob's 1950 Jacksonville State Teachers College yearbook photo. Bob's 1951 Auburn yearbook photo. Bob's Auburn senior yearbook photo.
Dude,
What?
I don't think people want to know exactly. We are not going to read this motherfucker verbatim with the
Nah, man, I'm reading these.
gallery.
It's my stream, I'll do what I want.
You fucking fuck. I'm gonna talk over you. I'm going to talk over you the
Why?
entire time.
Dude, seriously, I want to read
Because
these.
this-
Sorry,
Yeah, boys.
Sorry, I want to read these. Leave this on a high note. Also, I just noticed they got some chats. Like at these specific times, 10:35 p.m. And from all these from Fruity. PP. Can I have hamburger, please? Good morning,
Yes, PP.
people. I am from Ohio. Cool. Who the fuck burping? Oh, that was me. Sorry. Ah!
My friend, the burping turban.
At 10:42, Fruity says, "Okay, I'm bored. Have a good day, y'all." Yeah, you too. And see ya. Yeah, thank you for being here, Fruity. Very cool.
So,
I'm almost
Are we
done
going-
here.
are we going to also fill in our links at the end?
Yeah, you guys provide me the links. I'll put them in the description later.
Okay,
But first, I'm gonna finish this.
got it.
1956, 925, Bob Patricia marriage license. 1980, 128, Bob Patricia divorce. 1980, 67, Orb marriage license. Bob and his parents, 1930 census. Bob and his parents, 1940 census. Bob's birth certificate. Chris's family tree up to his great-great-grandparents. And these pictures don't have descriptions. Christmas at the Chandlers, taken sometime during the 1980s. That isn't Chris's half senile old grandfather at Christmas time. It's Bob. He was that age when Chris was about 1.
Wow.
Yeah, remember, don't have children that old. Just
Nope.
saying. Bob with Aunt Corina.
Fucking crazy, man.
Bob used to enjoy gardening
Yeah,
back in the
don't have
day.
children.
And last known photo. And the rest of these don't have descriptions. Rest in peace, Bob. Yeah,
Rest
did you
in
guys
peace.
have fun?
Yeah, I did have
No.
fun. I did have fun.
It was torture because we talked about a dead man. Made me remember my own mortality.
Yep.
What? Why do you have to be reminded of it? We're all gonna die.
Play a sad song in the world's smallest violin.
This is
This is
serious.
serious.
Well,
I know, this is the world's smallest violin. See? Do you guys want to plug your crap before we shut this off?
I'm plugging mine in.
Like, plug it in while
Yeah.
telling people about yourselves,
All my
Well,
fun
about your
plugs.
about your content.
Yeah.
Well,
Follow
I
me
have,
Ladies first.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, social medias and all that.
I have a YouTube account under the name Soultel, and it's not very much, but it's there for watching videos and giving my commentary once in a while. But I never left YouTube after having it since 2007. I also have a Twitter account, which is right here.
Well, they can't.
Twitter.com/, K17.
Like, they can't see it, I'm not
Just
filming
give me
that.
app.
Just, like, type it in and I'll put it in the description later.
Okay, let me do that. Uh, forward slash. Uh, also I have I also have a fanfiction.net account, and I'll post that there, as that's my oldest account.
Alright, Pika Play, Grizzly Redhead, go ahead and plug your stuffs.
I have a SoundCloud.
I didn't know you had a SoundCloud. When did that happen?
Yeah, I've actually had it for a while. I just never thought to bring it up.
Fair enough.
I do things there
Yeah.
sometimes.
And I have an Instagram, but I barely ever mention it. I barely use it.
Here we go. And here's the Twitter page.
I see them. You guys go ahead and plug the rest of your stuffs.
I'm Crazy Redhead here on YouTube, and because it's stupid and I have the attention span of a fucking fly, I have a TikTok because I cannot make long form content with actual videos. I just get a live stream here. But anyways, yeah, go check me out on there, Crazy Redhead, because TikTok is being stupid. I sent you my newest video. There's gonna be another one later. I know what I'm doing. I can plan some shit ahead. I just have the attention span of a fucking flea. What the fuck was that?
Also, Redhead did a really cool stream recently. I watched it. Check him out.
Yes, yesterday. I plan on doing another stream either Thursday or tomorrow.
Based.
I'm going to be streaming Kingdom Hearts 2 or 3. I'll decide which one of the two I want. I already played both of them already. I'm just bored and want to play them both and see what people.
All right.
And Pika, do you want to plug in your YouTube and Twitter? I know you have a Twitter.
Twitter, yeah. I have a YouTube that I barely use. It's all the same username. You just type in Pika.90, you should be able to find it.
Yeah, go ahead and plug those, and I'll put them in the description later.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright. I got my stuff ready.
Everyone say your goodbyes, and I'll end it here.
Yeah.
Remember to always wear protection and have birth control and Plan B just in case. These are very important things to have.
Thank you for your beautiful advice.
Always have those just in case.
Yeah, give the advice for the kids. Thank you.
Exactly. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. Remember, there is always Plan B. Plan C is the one that people are currently having a problem with.
Yep.
Anyway, I had fun reading the quickie for the first time in ages. I'm glad I found that link to the archive.
Amen.
I shall see the lot of you next time. If you want to join our Discord, it's in the description. I also have Teespring if you want to buy any of my crap I have on there. It's some very based merchandise, I promise. And I will add more in the future.
Discord server's fucking crazy. I post dumb memes there.
All of us do. It's a great server. We have fun here. Join us.
Yep.
John, dickhead.
Well then.
You have a good day. Bye-bye.
Sleep well.